Peoria's health department cut ties with anti-violence group House of Hope last month, ending the controversial Cure Violence program. But now they want to know where the money went. Good Wednesday evening. I'm Tyler Lopez.
And I'm Janice Rebholz. Thanks for joining us at 6. And now House of Hope is facing an investigation by the Peoria County State's Attorney's Office. Liz Lape joining us in studio with more details in tonight's top story. Liz.
Tyler, Janice, Peoria Health Department board members say they discovered the money was missing shortly after terminating the contract with House of Hope, and it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Due to lack of progress, Peoria anti-violence group House of Hope no longer has boots on the ground for their Cure Violence initiative, and now they may be in legal trouble. Peoria City Council voted the program down 2 years ago, and the health department chose to take it over, gaining financial responsibility of $650,000 in American Rescue Plan Act grant funding. Shortly after terminating House of Hope's contract in August, the board discovered a large amount of money had been withdrawn from the account. Tuesday night at City Council, Health Department board members explained they're performing an audit on the public accounting of all financial aspects of the program.
So we can say, hey, there's a receipt coming for it, and we still have to, by the grant, accept that receipt and for that expense. But that process didn't follow our internal processes in place. So for our accounting of it right now, we're short.
This was the initial fear of council member Zach Euler. He says he and other city leaders had concerns over the program's transparency and how funds would be protected.
And we've now got money missing, potential theft, mismanagement of a program, lack of accountability. So all of the things that I was concerned about 2 years ago have now come to fruition, unfortunately.
Euler says up to $200,000 could have been withdrawn by someone at House of Hope. City Manager Patrick Gurek says only $368,000 was distributed to fund the program. He says this money will need to be reallocated before the end of the year.
Ultimately, those dollars that are part of the federal funds that we shared with them would have to come back to us. So that's, I think, the next step for the Board of Health.
Euler says he hopes lessons are learned from this and that programs like Cure Violence are more carefully examined in the future, especially protections on funds.
If one government entity doesn't feel comfortable with it, another one doesn't just rush in to take it without doing its homework as well.
The Peoria County State's Attorney's Office is now handling the investigation. We reached out to House of Hope's Executive Director, Terry Burnside, but he did not get back to us.